a lot of people that I know, my experience with retreats is just, it's not for me. We don't really see too many black people going to do retreats and things like that. But I've honestly, so I've been chasing this sense of community through music festivals and concerts, and like I felt the sense of God and other things in those types of atmospheres, but without the intent. So the retreats really just provide that additional intent behind everything to know what you're coming into, and it just kind of to cultivate more magic intentionally versus just we'll see what happens, we'll see what we go into and how this works out. But for me, my first retreat ever was Valentine's Day 2022. Aubrey Marcus just sending out things like we need more men for this singles retreat, and so it was really on some shit that just like, oh well, it's gonna be some bitches there that can pay for their own shit. They're winning, and like I'm gonna go to this to meet some girls that are like of my caliber, someone that I could really relate to, and then really going into that space though and seeing it like it was something completely different. It was like my first experience with sound bowls and different modalities, and it really just blew my fucking mind. And like again, coming into that space, I do feel like, oh, here's the token black guy. Of course, eyes are on me and different things, and they want to do interviews and shit just to promote the diversity. It's almost like that, just
checking
today's world. You know what I mean? Like the DEI and shit. So of course everybody wants to talk to me. I'm one of two motherfuckers here. So you want to promote the diversity in it because it is in those circles, it is some weirdos, it is some shit that's like, that you don't resonate with. But again,
80% white people.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but for me, an experience like we were talking about earlier, like asthma is what made me uncomfortable, like made me comfortable in the discomfort. So going into this shit, like, it's like, oh, okay, I'll be good. You know what I mean? But it really just completely catapulted me into new realms, gave me awareness of these things that are right up underneath your nose, and like find ways to relate with people that you tell yourself you're not like, but you hear yourself in their stories. Yep. So in 2022, I went to that first Fit for Service thing. I was pulled in, got close with a guy named Parker Sherry. And yeah, how he saw me, man, it's crazy how like you could get into depth and be seen by people you have no idea, that you don't know completely. Could be your best friend since the third grade, but them motherfuckers just see me as the weed man, or this guy, or look at him, he used to sell dime bags everywhere, like they can't see past what you were. They don't see you for your potential. So going into these places where people see you for your potential is it's rewarding, it's enlightening, and you realize who the fuck you really are. You remember who you are, and you're not defined. Like, this comes to mind, like, define yourself as undefinable, and like we tell ourselves, we put ourselves in these own self-imposed limitations, and it's just not who we are. So started out in Fit for Service, and then they invited me back to come back as a lighthouse, like a facilitator the second year. So went into 2023, brought my sister into these spaces, see her growth and evolution. And it's kind of the same story with Warrior. Warrior, I hear about Warrior through Blue from Fit for Service, who we met. As soon as I hear the podcast, I'm running at work, everyday lunch break, running at work outside. I'm stopped, like, oh shit, this dude Brandon Collinsworth, like, I send him a message on IG immediately, and I'm IG stalked, like, motherfucker, I don't know you, but I'm coming to your retreat. he said basically he remembered that. It's just like, to be called in, but it's really just answering the call, man. Like, really stop putting yourself in these boxes, man, especially as black men. Like, we don't fit into this, or it's not for me and this shit, and like we kind of the ones that really gotta, and not to discredit anybody else's story or anything, but that lack of being vulnerable and never having men in our lives, like most black men I know, we never had no fathers, and I know it's your case as well too. So it's just it's been so rewarding to see that one retreat experience has brought us all together into this space to where we're all manifesting our dreams in real time. It's incredible.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I can relate to a lot of that, Dre, because my first retreat experience was actually working the retreat. First of all, let me backtrack because getting comfortable in the uncomfortability is the undertone, is the thing. And I feel like we're all really working through that right now. I'm speaking for myself. This has been the challenge, one of the most challenging months of my life. You know, leading up to this retreat, what we're doing right now, and I'm still sitting in it in this moment. And there's a lot of retreats out there that are not that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a lot of comfort, a lot of cushion. Come to this beautiful yoga retreat, and we're gonna pamper you and massage and hand feed you grapes, and that's great. That's great. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But this is not that, you know. And to be able to understand that and know that you're coming to do the work and to take home tools and resources to help you become a better man, a better person, a better family person, a better father, a better mother, whatever the case may be, is something more powerful than the comfort that one of those retreats can give you, right? In my opinion. And I think that there's so much power and potency in that. And also knowing that you're going, the intention, that's the intention, right? The intention is to go there and do the work, to connect with like-minded individuals, to be seen, right? Because I can agree with that too. Like, oh, that's Rico Pico. He used to get fucked up in college, and even when I graduated, like that carried on. And still, people. I'm not even on social media. I haven't been for months, but people still hit me up like, "Oh, Rico, you changed. You're doing really good." And they see it now, but they still call me Rico, and they're still like, "Oh, remember."
Yeah, perpetuating
remember,
that past.
you know, and it's like,
oh yeah.
yeah, I do, but that's not who I am anymore. You know, that was a phase, that was a time. And just coming back to the retreat scene, like the first retreat that I ever actually attended or worked, I was working with John on our first the fasting and meditation retreat, Haleakua in Haiku and Huelo, I should say. And that was potent, man, because we were just winging it, to be honest. You know, we had it dialed. You know, John had everything dialed as far as, you know, the plan and the itinerary, but you know, we were winging it as far as, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? You know, I was picking up people from the airport, you know, bringing them back and forth. I was shuttling, I was cooking, I was doing whatever needed to be done, you know. And there was a lot of points within that retreat that I was so uncomfortable, but I stood in that and continued to do the work and continued to support and continued to co-facilitate and continued to ensure that we were providing these people that came from all across the world the best experience that we could physically possibly provide for them. And we did that, you know? And I was reflecting on that the other day. One woman got there and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize this is a fasting retreat." She didn't even realize, you know? And
she had one of the most profound, probably the most profound.
And I was going to say, she ended up fasting, you know, more than I did. She fasted longer than I did. I fasted for, I think, 2.5, 3 days, no food, no water, and then finally broke that. Everybody kind of, and that was the beautiful thing about that container, is we left it up to everybody. Okay, here's the outline. You take it as far as you want. And I saw that the women ended up taking it farther than the men. You know, the women ended up going longer into the fast. They went deeper into themselves, and they were having the most profound experiences. I don't want to say the most, but they were having very profound experiences within themselves. And that was beautiful to witness and to see, you know? And once again, to have that reflected back to yourself, like you can see yourself in so many people, you know? And it was that was my first experience with the retreat. And that was here on Maui, and that was 6 years ago now.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, my first retreat experience was with the Henosis squad. All men's retreat in 2023 of June, I believe, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I got invited just to be a co-facilitator, support, and plug in where I could, picking up guys from the airports, and and just being behind the scenes, helping Rye get these little things, helping John do these little things. And I've just always been a team player. I've always enjoyed being part of a smaller group of guys or girls. That's where I have found that I operate at my best. And yeah, to be able to go into a container of like-minded individuals that are actually committed to working on themselves, but also taking that work and let it ripple into their own personal lives, their families, their communities, was really inspiring for me. I had never really done that stuff before. I was very new, greenhorn to this, and yeah, even though it wasn't like a super long retreat or anything, it was about 5 days or so, 6 days. Uh, I loved it. I loved being on all the time. Like, get up, okay, this is what we got, this is what we got next, and we're just going through the flow, taking the guys through how we're supposed to live as humans. And again, I think kind of to what your point was saying, a lot of retreats are very fluffy and like, glamorous and kind of dramatized and done up a bit. And you're like sugarcoating like all the, very surface level in a sense, whereas most people know, some people don't, that work is in more of that root chakra zone, like getting deep within ourselves. And one of the most profound experiences, actually, of my life and of that retreat in general, was the holotropic breath course, where we did, it was, I believe, an hour straight of Wim Hof style breath, full diaphragmic, full body breaths, and John leading that, beating the drum, and going rounds of like, I forget the time intervals of like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and really pushing the threshold. And I just remember John being like, why are you here? Remember, why are you here? You're here to work, you're here to work. And I mean, guys literally like convulsing. Like, I remember my hands were like this, and I was just like, what is happening to me? Guys crying and bawling next to me and hysterically laughing and like having such cathartic experiences. And I had a vision of seeing John and myself in a shala, in a sense, in a big room of us teaching people how to breathe and do Kriya Yoga breath. And yeah, it was amazing. I was so like humbled by that. And then we went right after that, right into a sound bath, and I was just a puddle by the end of it. And I was just like crying, like, what did I just experience? It was God. That was like very clear to me. And that was like one of the first very visceral feelings that I have had with breath work and just being around. And that's the thing too with retreat settings. You can do this work on your own, and that's amazing. Everyone should be doing this. But when you can do it with a mastermind kind of setting and group, whether that's two of you, three of you, five of you, even better, you're amplifying that charge, right? We have this one beam. If that's just you, you add another five, that becomes a full on just beam, and you guys are operating on a whole different kind of frequency. Um, But yeah, that was totally a game changer in my life, and I got the hunger for it. And I was like looking for things. Like as soon as the retreat got done, I went back to my regular day job, which is fun as well. I'm a personal trainer and strength coach, and I love that. But it again is very surface level. I like the retreat setting because it's full spectrum service. It's everything. It's spiritual, it's mental, emotional, and of course physical. Um, and pushing yourself in those different ways. So yeah, it was. I almost had a little hangover, and a lot of people kind of get that after the retreat setting. And John has a great quote: "First the ecstasy, then the laundry. Then the dishes. Right? You have that high. It's amazing. Wow, I feel so incredible. All these amazing guys next to me, and then you come back down to your own routine, and then it's like, that's right. There's that pile of dishes again. Like, So that's where the work really goes in, finding the joy in those little areas of your life and your routine. And then of course shortly after that, the Maui fires had happened, and that was almost like its own different retreat. And I mean, a whole nother experience that I could go on forever about. And eventually, that kind of led me to meeting a lot of the Warrior alumni because they had flown out to Maui to help us out. And then, yeah, thankfully, John put my name in the hat, and I was able to go to the retreat in Peru for Warrior 8. All inclusive. We go to the jungles, we go to Cusco, we go to the Andes, and again, the high was just like anything I'd ever felt before. Not even having to do with the plant medicine, the life ayahuasca was really hitting me, and yeah, that was really as amazing as it was. It was also very challenging to put myself with a bunch of strangers besides John, uh, specifically almost I would almost say 90% female, which was so beautiful, and I deeply resonate with the feminine. Uh, but it was also hard and beautiful at the same time to really let my armor down, crack myself open in front of all these women who are also doing the work literally right next to me. Um, yeah, and to push myself in a different way that I've never done that before, which of course from that experience allowed me to open up and be more vulnerable with the love of my life, Miranda. And fast forward, she gets pregnant. Everything's going so amazing, and I'm feeling the next initiation into fatherhood come into play. We go into my most recent retreat in the Andes, 2024, all men's retreat, and yeah, again, medicine just really hitting. Um, we did everything from climbing mountains to sitting with Wachuma and just being in the fire of brotherhood. And I haven't really had that a lot in my life, and I think a lot of us can relate to that too. When you share your vulnerabilities with the men in your life that you think are the closest, and it gets literally thrown back in your face, I started to, okay, that means I lock it in, I push it down, and I never bring it up again. And then that, of course, will manifest into other different things: illnesses, injuries, chronic pain, all the stuff, trauma. So to be in that container where positive masculinity, healthy masculinity was supported and championed, and like bringing ourselves to the fire as a man, I believe is what the men today really need. Men need men, women need women, we need each other. Um, yeah, and it was just beautiful to be a part of. So really looking forward to the next retreats that Henosis puts on, and excited to have you guys there.
And as a participant in the Henosis, John, let me take the opportunity to give you your flowers, bro. And like for real, cause this shit is no joke. And like this is my guru, and my fucking best friend, and my dog, and somebody that's been through the same shit, and somebody I'm gonna smoke weed with and do all the things. You know, it's not like you get into these situations where you worshiping these false idols. And John always says to fucking walk beside me, not behind me. And like people get caught up in the glitz and the glamour, and fucking you want to have these big names and oh, these people know me, these people love me. I was here and here, and you get back home and you in the same fucking position with no tools. And
what are you doing
like,
the other 90% of the time?
Posting on Instagram, telling everybody
exactly
how spiritual
with this
you are.
pseudo feeling of what's really going on, and it's not to discredit anybody's thing, but everybody's looking for something that's real and something that's sustainable and something that you're a part of, and that's where it's like. That's what differentiates these trips from the others is because, like, bro, we are really in it. You really in it. It's like...
These guys are sleeping on my couch in my fucking house right now. I be
That's
crawling
it.
over them at 4:30 in the morning to
Straight
go
up.
do my practice.
Straight up.
This is my homies.
Man. That's the thing. Like, you go into these places like, oh, I got to find somebody to work out with. Who am I going to maintain my shit with? And like, no, like, this is really full.
That's all you got.
You get into these
Proximity.
pockets and these things, and then it's
yeah.
just... But so this is something that's really so unique and so palpable and fucking delicious. Not to mention the fucking fruits and the lands and everything that comes from this place. But it really is something so special because you know that you are a part of this. You know what you are building. You know you add value to the group, to the experience for everyone. And it's not just this go back and look at my pictures and see how many likes I could get. And, shit. And it's like, no, bro, look at my transformation. And it's like once you know you've been resurrected, people start to show you. People start to tell you. And it's like, oh shit, like it's not like, oh, I saw you went to Maui and you went surfing, and it's like, bro, you're glowing.
What are you
doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want that. I want that.
Exactly.
You know,
So
and that's
like,
the beauty about these, like this retreats and things that we're doing. We're not putting on a show. It's a day in the life.
Yeah.
Like you come and you do what we're doing. This is what we do every fucking day.
Like I did this morning before we did it on camera by myself in the fucking dark at 4:30 in the morning.
And there's no glitz and glamour behind that because that's hard. You know, it's hard to wake up every morning and do this shit every single day. You know, what does Jordan Peterson say? A man is who he truly is behind closed doors when nobody's watching.
right?
You know, and we're doing the same thing. Not that none of us are perfect. We all got our shit. We all got our freckies, our inner demons, our inner shadows. But I mean, God, we are supporting each other to work through those things and continuing to help one another climb the mountain. Here, I'll carry the cross for a little bit. Here, bro, can you carry this for me? I got you. You know,
that's
like
support.
we're here.
That's real
this is
support.
real brotherhood. You know, and we're building this, and we're inviting people to come share that with us. And another thing that I love that's so beautiful about these retreats, these Henosis retreats, is the service aspect of it. It's not just saying, okay, we're going to go do something. It's no, let's really go put our hands in the dirt. Let's go plant some trees. Let's give back to this beautiful island that's giving to us every single day. You know, and I feel like that's what a lot of these retreats are missing. Like, oh, it's a whale watching retreat. Oh, it's a surfing retreat. That's great. There's healing and all of that. But like to come and do the work internally and then externally give back to this land, that's a whole nother aspect that's so giving. Stewardship. You know, stewardship.
Even just the community potluck yesterday. You know, like, man, especially we were talking about this like fusion fit. You know, there's the gym click fit fam energy, but like there's not. It's different. Like how the homegirl came up to you front desk. What's her name? Mealy. She comes up and just like stoked. You can tell she's got food industry background and like loves Ryan just because she likes Ryan. And to come and like other people like, oh, PBCB, homegirl Teresa or whatever, like she's in the group and she's like, hey, like I just like I wanted to come. Like you could tell like, is this real or not? Like is this?
Yeah.
And we're like,
kind of
I'm
looking
like,
for this.
Yes,
like they
yeah,
had this
like
inkling
you
in
can
the back
tell.
of their mind.
Like fuck, I hope this
like,
is
I've
real.
been looking for
I
this the
really
whole
want. I
time.
need this. I need, and even the fusion fit. That's like, you think that's already community, but there's still that fucking. We get together and act like it's community, but then we don't hang out. We're not tight like that in real life, you know. And like you said, you go to these retreats and it's like a bit of a show, but then you're like, hey man, I'm really going through some shit. Crickets. Like that's not what I'm trying to build. That's not what we're trying to build. Like this is a village. This is community. Like what actual community is fucking people helping each other out. Like, yo, I need some fucking help right now on some shit. And like, how many times, like, you guys know I've been doing this for 10 years by my fucking self for the most part. And then, you know, like, at points, especially trying to get this thing to go to another level and grow exposure, like, every one of you have helped me out. Like, hey, I need $500 2 weeks ago. Fucking Anthony's like, got it, let's go. Okay, that's gonna be the food for the community potluck, and we gotta rent this fucking car so we can get around, so we can go do the things that we need to do during this week. And it's like, we're really in it for each other. And it's like one of my favorite quotes, and I always say this at Warrior, is, are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for God? Because we can put on the show for a day or a 2 or a week and act like we're doing it for God. But then behind the closed doors, it's like, no, you're doing it for Instagram. Like, what the fuck is that actually even translate to in real life, you know, for real community? You know, like, where is the actual component of selfless service? Not rehearsed service. Selfless service.
Oh, I should do this.
You know, or I'm going to do this during this event so we can film it and put it on Instagram and virtue signal and tell people how fucking, you know, good we are. But then it's like, you know, you don't treat somebody in the community during your Tuesday when you go to the store. Like, we go to the fucking grocery store, and like Kathy's like, John,
Yes.
hey Ryan,
Yes.
like fucking the community members love us.
Yep.
Not like every day we show up in the community and are ourselves. We're literally just being ourselves, and because we actually fucking care, people see that, and that's the change, you know. And then you got the guys, like, no shade again to those guys, but they see us and they're like, yo, what are you doing? It's like, you know what we're doing, dog.
Yeah, you see
You
us.
know it's not
You talk
easy
about
work.
it, yeah.
That it's toiling. It's fucking putting your hands in the dirt and working hard at something that may never actually yield fruit for you ever, if in your lifetime at all. It's not for you at all. I'm just working to work because it's gonna make me somebody better. Like character, right? Peterson breaks that down. It's like to chisel away at tapas. It's to burn away the impurities of the bullshit. Like, why are we doing this 90-day dieta right now? Because all of us genuinely want to be better men, so we can create a better experience for the other people that we care about. Like, I want to be a better man for fucking Miranda and for Charlotte. Like, that fucking matters to me, man. Like, I want Charlotte to grow up in a space where she's like, got uncles and feels safe. And doesn't have to go through what my niece and nephew went through. Like, that shit was fucking tragic, man. I don't want that to happen to anyone ever again. You know, like, that's what we're out here for, is because we've all had experiences that are like, enough is enough. The contrast is enough. You know, I can do something about it. If it's 1% for, you know, Kathy at the grocery store, the Optimus Creed, you know, just to give every living creature I meet today a smile, you know, and that's effort, man.
Yep.
That's effort. And you see the people, you know what I'm talking about, and especially like in this conversation of the rehearsal, where it's like when you actually see that person in public and you know they saw you but they look away because they don't actually want to open up and engage. That's not community. Where that's like, don't DM me on Instagram if you're gonna fucking not actually acknowledge me in public, you
Right,
know?
exactly.
Like, that's not friendship, that's not true
Yeah,
connection.
and I want to go back to like how you said, you know, we've all helped you. You've all helped us, bro. You've all helped us, you know, in so many different ways, you know.
Understatement.
You
even.
know, yeah, bro. Like you've helped us so much. So it's a give and take. I mean, it's a give and receive. You know, like this is we pour into each other. We all pour into each other. And for prime example, like, you know, I had a pretty big health scare, and I told John about it, and then right away was okay. This is what we got to do. Okay, like we came up with this 90-day dieta, and I went and told Anthony. Anthony's like, I'm in it. What? Don't feel no pressure, bro. He's like, I don't feel any pressure. Okay. And then John's like, Mikey's down too. I'm like, fuck. Mikey's in Chicago. You know, okay, let me call Mikey and give him the deal. Hey, this is what we're doing it for. A week later, Dre's like, hey, I'm in, guys. I'm like, damn, Dre's in Atlanta. Like, and then look, guys, it's what, day 26? And here we all are together. 28.
Week 4.
We're here together throwing a mini retreat. And it's only day 28 of 90. And all of our intentions have been put in this pot, and we're just cooking this stew. You know, like, how magic. That's literally magic, because I was vulnerable enough to share with my best friend. He was like, okay, I got you, bro. Give me that cross. Let me hold that for you for a minute. Then went and told my other best friend. He's like, give me that cross. I got you, bro. And then my two other dogs, my two other best friends, okay, we're going to all take turns carrying this cross up the mountain. That's community. That's brotherhood. That's what we're building here with this Henosis thing. That's what we're building.
Yeah.
If that's not magic, if that's not power, if that's not medicine, I don't know what is. Because I've never felt support like this in my fucking life, guys.
I totally agree. I've realized I've never had real friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 32, you know, I've never had real friends. And I've been through a lot in my life too, and, you know, suffered a lot of loss and things like that. And when death comes, that's when people show their real colors.
100.
Like, when people show up, who's there, right? Who's still hitting you up? Who's still asking? Not saying like, and I'm not looking for that necessarily, but it's just the fact that it's there, like, that's great, you know, and just having that support. And that's what's been the biggest thing for me, because I, you know, was never looking for that intentionality. I was very lost, had no purpose, like a lot of dudes today, right? And that's what we've been conditioned to do. But And then what it took for me was, losing my dad to cancer in 9.5 weeks, and that was a big wake up call for me, and that's what got me restarted on my path of the thirst for knowledge, because that's why I was frustrated and upset, because I wasn't growing and I wasn't learning.
Now yoga begins.
And now yoga begins, and now I was able to dive into that, and then I'm still listening and reading all this stuff, but now I'm applying all those things, because I've always been into Terrence and Dennis McKenna. I've always been into Buddhism and all this stuff, and now I'm applying those things, and I'm reading about ayahuasca, and then somehow that develops into me just hitting up Brandon on IG. It's like, yo, I don't know who you are, but like I've been following you for a minute, and like you seem dope, and I would love to be a part of this. And that was like shortly after my dad passed. 2020 happens, COVID, lockdown, and I think many other people, that was also a blessing. That allowed me to just get rid of all the distractions in the outside world, and just me, my mom, and my brother just hunker down and support each other and love on each other and process this grief. And so I was hitting him up about Warrior 6, and I was on the wait list. It was like me and Adrian, I ended up finding out, were on the wait list, who ended up being a Warrior 7. And then I was just like, all right, that's dope. Like, even me we ended up having a phone call, me and B, and just having that phone conversation opened a huge door for me. I was like, oh shit, anything's possible. It's like, this is super uplifting. Like, I'm just talking to people that are in this space that I feel called to in some way. And it's just put that in the back of my mind, and then I kept chopping. Got back in the gym, all this stuff. I was already cleaning up everything like prior to that. And then ended up going on Warrior 7 with Andre, and shout out Warrior 7, best squad. Don't even question that. Sorry, Anthony.
7 was good. 7 was good.
8 is
I mean,
great,
two from 7 right here, you know what I'm saying? But that was a life-changing experience for me. And I think back to, I read this book in high school, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, and I just went into it with a beginner's mind. I didn't have any preconceived notions or expectations about any retreats. I had never gone on a retreat or anything like that. So I think just that naivete allowed me to just soak it in even more, because I had no expectations. I was like, this is sick. Like, people are...
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And just allowed me to show up authentically, because I wasn't worried about people, how they would perceive me. Not that I necessarily worried about that anyway, but like just bringing it back around to having that support and intentionality, and just experiencing the community through that, because now look at all these people that I've been able to, that's how I got linked up with John. And then I started working with John for 6 months and training with him, and just had a huge body transformation. Basically, it was like lift heavier, eat more protein, and it was just like, boom, let's go.
19 pounds
Like,
in 4 months.
So that was really big for me, and I was able to just, Andre and I were roommates during Warrior 7 that
That's
whole time.
right.
So like,
That's right.
that was even more dope.
motherfuckers,
Yeah,
oh my God.
exactly.
I forgot
We're
about
bumping
that.
Juicy J on the bus, and like,
Dreaming lean too.
um,
I forgot about that.
and so just having that, I realized too, like, that was the catalyst, that I was supposed to go on that to meet John, to everything just unraveling and unfolding to me sitting right here with you guys in Maui. And since that time too, now I've been back to Maui, 4 or 5 times, and this is home for me. I love this place so much, and there's so much that I see for myself here, and I've never really felt like that anywhere else, but I'm also getting to a point of vibrational attunement to where I'm picking up on that stuff more, and it's more questions than answers, but in like the best possible way, and just more and more open to possibilities, right? And being on the Henosis retreat, that was also amazing. Assistant facilitating on Warrior Brotherhood as well, and getting to go down to Peru multiple times now. Like, who would have thought? I was just stoked about the one time, dude. Like, that would have been fuel enough forever, but now it's just exponentially increasing everything, and I just feel really, really grateful to just be sitting here with you guys and just finding these like-minded people, because like I said in the very beginning, it was like I never had real friends, it's just like proximity, like I touched on a second ago, you just, it's like, oh, I went to high school with them, so like you're just friends with them, or you went to college with them, you're just friends with them. But we are all seeking something greater than ourselves. So that's why we were able to link up. Like we found each other, you know, whether there's many past lives or right now or whatever that is.
We're back.
But we're back, right? And just having this mastermind, shout out Napoleon Hill, and definitely dive into that content. And just having that support and brotherhood, it's just like, it's unreal, and still it's so underrated. It's still not talked about enough. You know, we talk about mental health gets thrown around a lot, but what are we doing to solve that? Where are the solutions to get us to a point that we all subconsciously know, and back here we know that things should be way better right now, dude.
Yes.
It's 2025. Like, I look at my grandparents who are 99 to 96 and like, damn, I wish I grew up in the Depression sometimes, you know, just the simplicity of it all. I'm not saying, you know, medical advancements or whatever and all that, but it's the food, it's the community, and that's all they had,
Nature,
dude.
food, community, bro.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
Play.
and
Yeah.
fast forward to our most recent Henosis retreat that we had here on Maui about 2 years ago at Mohala Retreat Center. That was my profound experience when it comes to retreats. I did all the food for that retreat, and I really had it dialed. The food was dialed that time. Imagine this
Dude,
next time.
I still think about those meals.
But like that was another one of the most challenging times in my life. I was going through the day before, got broken up with, and was like, oh fuck, this is great, like great before my retreat. You know, I got to show up for these dudes. How can I do this right now? But I did it, and we had a medicine ceremony and all the guys, and that's when I first met Dre. That's when I first met Mikey, and had a medicine ceremony for all the guys, and the guys were all off in different parts of the property, having their own individual journeys, and it was me, Ant, and John, and we were sitting on the lanai, and it was an opportunity. They held space for me just to be vulnerable and share what was going on with me, and that time to drop in with us three was one of the most profound drop-ins I ever had. And through that, I really deepened my relationship with Anthony. Anthony got me into the gym, because I was training here in the dojo, I was training at Baldwin, but Anthony was like, come to the gym, bro, I got you. Started training at the gym with Anthony. I really sent it to the next level as far as my physical fitness, and obviously that all translates into mental health, spiritual, everything, one and the same. And over the past 2 years, I have become the best version of myself, and there's so much more to become. But just getting started.
And
But,
how exciting is that?
I mean, it's so exciting, and that came from the retreat. You know, that came from brotherhood, that came from community, that came from authenticity. You know, from us being real, and like you said, bumping Juicy J in the bus. Like there's no shawls here. There's no Malibis. There's no and all that's great.
We
but
love
that's,
frequencies.
But that's just not. That's not how we're bringing it to you. You know, we're bringing it to you real and live and authentic, because there's a dog in all of us, and we ain't scared of that. And that dog is who has shaped us into the men that we are. And there's a lot more shaping to go. But goddamn, I'm proud of me, and goddamn, I'm proud of us.
Yes,
And
sir.
to bring it back around to where Dre started with this too, as we wrap, just for sake of Miranda.
Yeah.
That space, the retreat, the brotherhood, the community, had the piece of intentionality, like which is the intention comes first and the structure comes second, which allows for the vulnerability. It allows for the okay, like I'm gonna drop in here and like boom, and all of that is uncomfortable. Back to another one of the premises of this conversation is like even moment to moment in facilitators, you know, even in Warrior and like the facilitators, and even in our group as we're prepping for this, there's moments where we all get triggered. Like shout out to B, triggers are your teachers. You know, like those are the moments that those are our lessons at this point. As like we're still students right here too. We're still vulnerable humans right here too. Like everybody's out on a break in the moment they're on mushroom ceremony, and us three are sober facilitators, and we sit down, and Ryan's like, okay, now I need to have my space in the moment. Like, I need to share. I'm going through some shit, and that discomfort is the necessary catalyst to investigate deeper and find out where our work is to continue to be done. But without the intentionality and the structure to create that space, it's really difficult. And we go back to like, where can men do this? I talk to people about this all the time. It's like, men get together to get fucked up. Like, you go to the bar or you watch sports, and like you're fucking nerfing on shit ass food and you're drinking alcohol, and like there's no conscious community. Conscious community is already rare, and organized, structured, intentional community for men is fucking non-existent. And if it is, half of it is that stuff. And that's like, what about the other guys with the dogs? You know, like, I ain't taking my dog to that. That ain't authentic. That doesn't feel. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. That's cool if that works for you. That don't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, like trying to get a guy, especially all the time, like, go to a hot yoga class. You know how uncomfortable it is for a dude that barely even can bend over, can't even touch his toes, to go to a class full of women where they're doing these progressed poses. He's sweating his ass off. He has no fucking idea what he's doing. Like, he's like, I'm just going to fucking leave. Fuck this. Like, I feel so out of my element. Like, where can guys actually get together to fucking have conversations like this? But it's in a healthy way. We're in the sunlight. We're grounded to the earth. You know, we're eating healthy food. We're actually taking care of our bodies and looking at ways that we can become better men. Not continue to hide and run and drown and cope and distract from the reality that shit, there's stuff going on that is not ignorable. 2020 was very fucking evident that polarity still exists, and there are forces at play that are trying to take the resources that we have. And
Life force.
it's very obvious. We don't even have to go into that part of the conversation, but don't think that the disconnection and the fucking separation and the situation at play isn't by intentional design on the other side. They're playing the same game. It's chess, and they're just on the other side moving the other pieces. And so it's like, I see it as a testament to our will, like just what we were reading earlier, the manliness piece of like, this is on us, you know, like this is an obligation that I'm happily a burden. I want to carry that cross. I want to do that, man, because I have been there and I know what that's like, and it's way fucking shittier. Like, there's two pains in life. You're gonna experience them both. Jim Rohn, shout out. It's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret on the other side of it. Like, you can feel like shit and drink beer and be unhealthy, or you can feel like shit and, you know, have a hard time training and lifting weights and having uncomfortable emotional conversations with people where you're triggered. Like, the discomfort is going to be there. The contrast is always going to be there. The contrast is necessary. Suffering is the way, the Buddha. Like, without it, there is no opportunity for growth and experience to begin with. So, like, yes, please, may I have another? Like, where's my humble pie? You know, like, let's keep eating that, because, man, this humble pie tastes a whole lot better than that coping, numbing pie over there, that distracting pie over there. I would way rather sit here in these circles and do this kind of work and toil than completely distract myself and numb myself and look back and be like, what the fuck, man? Like, I had a chance, you know? And that was me, fucking 2012. I'm fucking off 15 years straight avoiding running, and I take mushrooms, and my higher self comes in and is like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you've got a destiny. You got a chance to actually make a fucking difference. Like, what are you doing? Grow the fuck up. I was like, holy shit. I know you're right. We all fucking know that. In the back of the heads, we know we can do more. We know we can be better. And we're just like, you know, Brandon, again, standing on the shoulders of giants. Like, can you imagine going back to your great-grandpas and be like, yeah, I fucking watched Instagram for 9 hours today and didn't do shit. He's like, dude, my great-grandpa, I never forget this story. My dad told me, my great-grandpa, his dad handed him 2 shotgun shells during the Depression and said, come back with dinner or don't come back at all.
Wow.
Like, you know, man, we got it so fucking easy, and we're just sitting there squandering the gifts of fucking, we've got electric automotive chariots, we've got these fucking amazing, you know, like, we've got everything right here, right now.
Comfort.
It's ridiculous what we've got, and it's like, man, if we can't utilize the resources that we have now and the potential that we have now for the future generations, it's never going to happen. If not us, then who? And, you know, I want to give a big shout out to Brandon being Brandon Collinsworth, one of the homies that would be sitting right here with us having this conversation, and brought a lot of this energy together because, you know, in summary, to wrap, just as a chip in the pile for my first retreat experience, fuck guys, I've been thinking grow riching since 2016. Ryan knows this more than anybody. I have, without even getting emotional, fuck man, I have had this shit written down of what we're doing right now since fucking 2016. I could show you the documents. They're printed off, taped all over my house like a fucking madman. I'm like almost embarrassed to bring Gabby, the photographer, into our house because I'm like, guys, I don't know. She might think I'm fucking crazy. Like, these are just a few of the documents. Like, I can't even show her my Google Drive. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? Like, I've been out here. Like, my first retreat experience, I'm on the car ride back crying, looking out the window going, holy fuck, this is possible. I wrote this down. Oh my God, this shit works, dude. Like, I'm leading, working, and living with a team and family of elite, enlightened, amazing souls that help me create new ideas to make myself and the universe better. Like, I could go on and on with paragraphs that I say every fucking day. And I started that in 2016, and then 2018, I'm like, holy fuck, it's working. And I was doing that by myself, dude. Now I got a fucking squad of fucking G's right next to me. And resourced out even more than ever in beautiful land and mana and food and people that are here that want to support this mission and want to support us because they fucking want that space too. Everybody else wants this space too. And shout out to Fernando, our brother in Sacred Valley. Samadhi Retreat Center. Dude built it. He got the vision from God and he said, yo, and he had a beautiful family that was connected and resourced and had the land. He had the space there and he built it. And now we have this beautiful opportunity here to do the same exact thing. And that's the vision, guys. We're using the virtual space. We're using technology as an opportunity to help people wake up from all over the place, from Atlanta, from Chicago, from fucking all over the place, from Seattle, Washington. And I've been throwing out the back call for years, like, yo, move to Maui, move to Brandon. He's like, I think I'm going to do it. I'm like, man, I'm telling you 2 years, move to Maui. Let's go, let's build it. Let's go, we're ready. The energy is right. The people are ready. The people need this. We need this. And so it's like, again, if it goes back, if not us, then who? And I want this more than I want to breathe. And so I'm so happy that we get the opportunity to come together in this way because it inspires me. That's right. It is fucking possible. Now it's not just one. Now I got 4 others with me and we got other homies in the space. And like, people are ready for this. I really believe Maui brought me here and brought all of us here because the land and the people and Mother Earth in general is asking, like, let's go, we need this. This is the immune system response of Mother Earth saying, where are my white blood cells? Where's my immune system? Where are my antigens? Let's go, let's get together, let's fight this virus, LOL, what a great pun, and let's come together and fucking make a healthier, happier, strong, unified organism. Because that's what we are, and we all know that. We can kumbaya that and say we're all one, but first the ecstasy, then the laundry. Let's get back down to the brass tacks and do the work by creating intention and structure, and then praying with our legs and making it happen. And that's what this is about. That's what we want to do. We want to make this happen real time, and we want to share the journey with you as we go. So thank you. Thank you to all of you that are supporting us. Thank you to my brothers, Ryan, Anthony, Mike, Dre. Like, thank you guys for fucking coming out on a whim. Thank you, Gabby, for coming out and shooting this with us. You know, for just such an open heart. Like, who the fuck are these crazy meatheads? And we get together and we get to bring this to you guys out there. And hopefully this shines a light of inspiration to you. Be like, you're no different than us. You're no different than us. We're just regular folks. And I promise you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. If these knuckleheads can do it, anybody can do it, guys. And we'll show you, we'll prove it to you, because we'll create that space, we'll let you come, we'll let you hang out with us, and you'll see, damn, I did it. I did do it. I can do it. And then you take it back home to your community. You take it back home to your family. And you become the change you wish to see in this world. So thank you guys for tuning in so much. It's been a pleasure. So much more to come. We can't wait to share it with you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the other
Next
side.
time.
Good job, fellas. Good.
Get going, bro.
That's
Peace,
my-
bro.
that's
Peace
my
5 minutes ago, bro.
Yeah, man.
That was
My
heat.
shirt.
That was heat, bro. Fire. Love you, John.
I'm hungry as fuck, son.
For what?
Food.
All of it.
All of it.
The mangoes. Oh, they're ripe. I know they are. The sour sauce ready to go.
Love you, bro.
It's a coincidence, bro.
Me too. Me too.
That's it.
Let's eat.
You doing it?
We're doing it.
Hey, shout out to Queen B.
Ah!